What's up, guys? Welcome to Superwise. I'm John, and today we're talking about the cancellation of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4. I've always been fascinated with the story of Spider-Man 4 and its downfall, and I've looked all over YouTube for answers, and I've gotten a lot of different takes and stories on why this movie was canceled. So I decided I would do the research and find the real, true, full story. So let's get into what really happened. So after the box office success of Spider-Man 3, it is the highest grossing Spider-Man movie in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy. Sony decided to greenlit Spider-Man 4 with an official release date for May 5th, 2011. Development on Spider-Man 4 began in 2008 with Sam Raimi attached to direct and the original cast returning. Sony hired James Vanderbilt to write Spider-Man 4 and also write Spider-Man 5 and 6. Now, this is something I did not know before. I just thought Spider-Man 4 was happening at the time, but Sony had plans for a 5 and 6, which is just insane. Sam Raimi already had his first villain in mind for Spider-Man 4, which was to be Lizard, played by Dylan Baker. It would have Dylan Baker reprising his role as Dr. Kurt Connors, eventually turning into the Lizard. Later into production, Sam Raimi had more ideas for more villains to appear in Spider-Man 4, the first one being Vulture. Sam Raimi wanted Vulture in Spider-Man 3, obviously that didn't happen, so Sam Raimi wanted to put Vulture as the main villain in Spider-Man 4. Sam Raimi had an idea for Ben Kingsley to play Vulture, but eventually Adrian Toomes would be played by John Malkovich. Malkovich confirmed his casting a day before Spider-Man 4 was cancelled. That's just crazy. Anne Hathaway was also in talks to play Felicia Hardy, aka Black Cat. And I say Black Cat and not the Vultress because Sam Raimi debunked the rumors that Black Cat would actually be Vulture's daughter and turn into the Vultress. That's all fake. That's all rumors. Sam Raimi wanted Anne Hathaway to play Black Cat, and that was it. Sam Raimi also revealed that Spider-Man 4 and Spider-Man 5 at the time were not going to shoot back-to-back. Instead, Spider-Man 5 would be a direct continuation to Spider-Man 6. So next, I'm going to show you all of the official concept art from Spider-Man 4 and talk about what plot details were revealed. So first off, at the beginning of Spider-Man 4, there was going to be a montage of Spider-Man taking down various villains, including, as you can see here, Mysterio, and Mysterio was revealed to be played by Bruce Campbell. This would be his fourth cameo in these Spider-Man Sam Raimi movies. So now this does not make me happy. As you can see here, this was supposed to be Anne Hathaway's Black Cat, and the story was that Peter Parker and Black Cat were supposed to have an affair, and that just pisses me off because, did Peter Parker not learn his lesson in the third movie? Cheating on Mary Jane, the girl of his dreams, does not seem like a thing Peter Parker would do. I'm actually glad this part of the movie didn't happen because it would have just ruined the third movie's ending and just Peter Parker's character as a whole. Now here you can see classic Spider-Man avoiding an explosion of some sort, and here you can see him falling. Really didn't know what that was about. Here you can see John Malkovich's Vulture, and these next string of concept art pieces is apparently Vulture bringing down a helicopter of some sort. Back to the commentary, here you can see Mary Jane, and here you can see Peter Parker. Here you can see Spider-Man trying to thwip his web. And here you can see Spider-Man taking on the Vulture. But that was the true full story of Spider-Man 4. A fascinating story of what could have been for the Spider-Man franchise. It certainly seems there were a lot of cooks in the kitchen for Spider-Man 4. Maybe it had a lot of villains, maybe it could have ended up with the same issues like Spider-Man 3, who knows? Sony had a deadline for Spider-Man 4 and Sam Raimi could not get the script right. He was being rushed. He didn't like what was happening, so he left. And then the Amazing Spider-Man reboot was born with Andrew Garfield, and the rest is history. But now with Sam Raimi directing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, I'm very confident that we might see a Tobey Maguire return. We might see a return to Sam Raimi's world. Maybe a live-action Spider-Verse movie, maybe a new Spider-Man 4. They would have to rewrite the script. But I feel like Sam Raimi has been haunted by Spider-Man 4. He said that himself. So I definitely feel like Sam Raimi would want to make a comeback to this Spider-Man world and make things right. And Sony probably has interest for that, and I'm excited for the future. But if these are all rumors, if this never happened, I'm okay with that.
I've done terrible things too. I forgive you.
This series is unlike any other superhero movie trilogy out there. There's a reason why they call the fans call this series the Holy Trilogy, and let's say not Nolan's, because these movies teach life lessons. They are emotionally impactful. I grew up with these movies. I love them. They've changed my life. Peter Parker's made me want to become a better person. I am so emotionally attached to these movies. I love them so much. This series is the best superhero trilogy out there, ever. They're deep, they're profound, they're everything a movie should be. It's disappointing that we didn't get Spider-Man 4, but maybe it's for the best. These movies are profound and have beautiful storytelling, something that the MCU and even Nolan's Batman trilogy can't even touch. Spider-Man, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, is the best superhero trilogy out there. They're so different and unique from the other cookie-cutter superhero movies out there. These movies are the best, and they're simply amazing.